Hey, welcome to another Tech video. I wasn't planning on making this video because I've made a lot of videos about FTSR, but this is actually major improvements. We have 50 block per second two-way piston bolts now. The best part about this bolt is it's actually cheaper in terms of dust, which is what I care about, than a normal one. Yes, you heard me right. This thing is cheaper than if you were to have two 50 block per second piston bolts next to each other, which is what I had before. Why two-way? Well, farm to farm requesting might need it. We haven't got that logic in any of this yet. It's still in the idea phase. But no matter what, I will 100% be using this bolt, because the idea of returning items and sending them to the storage, the speed will help. So, let's get into it. So, as you see here, we have an intersection, a turn, a straight, and then the actual input/output there. Now, I should, before I say any more, give credit to the person that curated this layout, because it is frankly incredible. This whole thing here is what makes the two-way logic work. So we have 3 blocks here, and if you push it that way, the car will go that way. If you push these 3 blocks, it'll go that way. It's really cool. So yes, thank you very much to BigCitrusFruit for that. Now, as you can see here, these are what they designed from their bolt. And we both agreed that this could be compacted slightly, and pretty much everything else could be. So I spent about a few hours trying to compact it, trying to shave at least 1 block off the height, and that's exactly what I did. Using torches and all sorts of nonsense going on in here. You know, like redstone. On the same level that the car actually goes on, we have this. Now, obviously, this is not player compatible. Their one is, my one isn't, because of you'd suffocate because of the blocks in the way. But in my opinion, that is perfectly fine, because this was never meant to be for the player. And also, I mean, just look at it. It just looks incredible. So yes, back onto these bolts over here. So this was a turn, and what you'll notice between mine and theirs is it's very similar, it's just I had to make it work with my bolt. So as you can see, there's like a target there, which I think we removed up there, which is quite good. So if I come up here, you'll see, yeah, I did. We removed the target there. We worked on these together at this point now. This is not just my designs. we spent like 4 or 5 hours not really getting much sleep from my part. You know, I was up until like 6 AM doing all this, but you know, I was too excited, what can I say? So yes, this is the turn. It's exactly the same as theirs, just obviously the block shorter. Now this took hours and hours and hours to design. So I need to explain something. These bolts are incredibly hard to make an intersection for, as you can imagine. Because what's good about them, which is what makes this like only possible, is this is one way and this is another way. They are on 2 separate rail lines, which makes it really convenient to turn and to do all sorts, but makes it extremely hard to actually split them. So I'll show you on this one, since it's more roomy. You can see we have to literally split off that main bolt, so these are 2 different directions now, and actually merge them again and do all sorts. So, to quickly show their intersection, what I'm going to do is just place a cart here, send it through as normal, and as you'll see, it goes right to the end. And if I send the cart there again, but this time a request comes in from this side, it will switch a latch in there, which now means when I send it, it'll go down this line, right there. And obviously the merging works just fine. So if I send this, it'll go right the way to there. And as you can probably imagine, if I go this side, and I put the cart down, and I send it, if I can aim, you'll see it goes right to the end. Now don't get me wrong, this intersection is great, like, this is like a huge improvement for FTSR, but I didn't like how big it was, and this bump here really annoyed me so much because it's 3 blocks and I felt like it could be moved. So that I did exactly that. Now, me and CitrusFruit spent hours on this and we still had the bump here. We spent like 4 hours on this, I think, and I spent another like 3 hours removing that one bump, even though it seems like that's an extremely long time for what it is. It's so compact, it's hard to wire anything. And we're even using some 1.21 stuff because I have access to it and I don't see that as a problem. Some people do, but oh well. So, to show it you again, I'll put the cart here. I will send it. And as you'll see, it goes right to the end perfectly fine. And if we get a request, now I'm going to pulse it from here because it's easier, but obviously this line is the same. So, as you'll see, it switches these bulbs off. And now when I send the cart, you'll see, there it is. Now it is slightly slower in the actual insides, but it's perfectly fine in my opinion. It's like half a second slower. And just so it's nice and complete, I'll also show it you going back. There it is. And this one. Now, as I said, this is revolutionary piston bolt technology here. Well, in terms of FTSR, I haven't seen a two-way 50 lock per second bolt anywhere, so if one's been made, then oh well. But yes, this is definitely the best intersection I've ever made. It's obviously cube, because everything I make is cube. And yes, this took way too long. There's like huge delays in places like here and here, but it's fine. It works. It's 50 blocks per second in and out. That's all that matters. So yes, that's pretty much everything I wanted to show with the actual bolts. Over here we have the input/output. So as you can see, this is on and it's locking our hopper under the salt sand. When a request comes through, it will unlock it. So now it's ready to accept its items. So if I put a few boxes through, what you'll notice is in a second we'll get a car over here. Now it takes a while just because it makes sure that there's definitely no items left in the hopper, and as you can see, there's our 3 boxes. Now what's really cool about the input to this is I can send just carts, which is good because if we want to return the carts we can. As you can see, we got our cart there. And I can actually send items to the storage and they'll be separated from the actual cart. So let me send 3 boxes. And as you'll see, the boxes just fell down there. And we got our cart here. Now to show you those were 3 boxes. As you can see, all 3 perfectly fine. So yes, this is great. Like, these bolts are so useful. As you can see as well, this locked again. But yeah, these bolts are so useful, and like, Obviously, we've got an error code line still, and yeah. But yeah, like, these bolts are insane. Like, huge thank you to FTSR for these. Like, they are just mad. 50 block per second, two-way bolts. I didn't think it was even possible. And then they would just like, hey, I have a layout. Oh, I've wired it. Oh, I've made a turn. Oh, I've made an intersection. It was, yeah, crazy. As you can see, working on the hall over there still. But yes, next video, I'm not sure what it's going to be, because hopefully nothing changes with these, or hopefully I don't, like, find something else that's revolutionary. But yes, not sure what next video will be, not sure when it will be, probably next week, because I try and upload every week. I do hope you have enjoyed, and again, just massive thank you to FTSR for these. I'll see you next time.